I'm vegan. I stopped eating meat when I was 6 and turned vegan about 6 or 7 years ago now. However, I have criticisms of the vegan movement, and I feel that collectively we can often be counterproductive with our approach and engagement on the topic of veganism. I do also understand how antagonistic meat eaters can be, but I kind of see it as a double-edged sword. Firstly, you don't win people to your politics by telling them they're awful, especially for doing a very socially acceptable thing. Tactically speaking, it's not a good approach. When you tell people they are morally wrong, the natural human reaction is to get defensive and dig your feet in because they feel attacked. Secondly, there is no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism. The avocado that maybe you had on toast this morning might have been non-human animal cruelty free, but it wasn't cruelty free. And I take issue with this hashtag and term in general. Avocado is loved by our vegan community. First of all, like a lot of over-farmed products, take their toll environmentally. Avocados need a lot of water. They grow typically in tropical climates. So if you're buying them from California, they are rinsing the water supply. Because of how high demand they are, they encourage illegal deforestation. They have been referred to as blood avocados because of gang-related violence in Mexico due to how valuable they are. So the avocado industry has killed people. Quinoa has become so valuable because of our consumption in the West that the people who farm it in Peru and Bolivia can't afford to eat it anymore. So it's been a staple for these people for 7 centuries, and suddenly it's cheaper for them to buy imported junk food. Also, capitalism has catered to veganism without reducing non-vegan products. So when you buy Ben & Jerry's vegan ice cream, you are still funding a company that makes its millions off of the exploitation of cows. I'm not saying you're a bad vegan if you buy it, but I am saying we need to be realistic about the material conditions of the state of the world and be upfront and honest about realities of our own consumerism. The system is deliberately set up to make it easy to emotionally detach from the meat industry. They label it as ham because they know people don't want to see the words dead pig. And that is the system's doing, not our fellow people's. People under capitalism have, at very least, a hell of a lot of things to deal with, if not living in direly desperate circumstances. Lastly, animal liberation will not come before human liberation. We live in a world where human beings are slaves to at least their labor, if not a more violent form of slavery. Pretty much everybody has financial worries because capitalism sucks, and it is understandable why animal rights aren't on most people's agenda. As long as we live in a world where the state of California is paying human beings, inmates, $1 an hour to fight fires, in a world where people are struggling and need to be emancipated themselves, animals will continue to be exploited and used as a means of production. If you're vegan, fantastic. But sadly, it needs to be accepted, and I don't like that this is the case, but realistically, we need to bring about the end of capitalism in order for anything to change for animals. We need to change the structure of society that will continue to utilize animals for financial gain because it is a for-profit system. Human beings need to bring about the emancipation of themselves and then in turn animals. That's the only way it's realistically going to work. Yelling at meat eaters that they are murderers does nothing productive, and I would argue is actually detrimental to the animal rights cause. Overall, being moralistic about veganism is counterproductive because it fails to address the root cause of the meat industry, which is capitalism, not meat eaters. Attacking people rather than the system, I would argue, actually fuels the system working because we are fighting each other instead of trying to fundamentally change the messed up ways that things work. Also, cats and blah, blah, blah.